mysteries we find our voice, opening our minds to every choice. Sharing stories we pave the way, a future where acceptance will always stay. Join us on this journey, we'll break the mold. Together we'll create a world that's bold. Beyond the binary, our voices will soar. Love and inclusivity forever will explore. Enjoy the show. Ooh.
Welcome to Beyond the Binary, the show, where we explore the complex and diverse experiences of individuals who are part or ally of the LGBTQ+ community. I'm Bédard, and today we have a special episode for you. Because this Friday, September 20th, 2024, our team had the opportunity to speak not as a team, but as individuals. Let's see what our team has to say about the current stance of our human rights. More specifically, youth's rights.
Bon après-midi tout le monde. Je m'appelle Bédard et j'utilise les pronoms il, lui en français ou they, them en anglais. La question de la nouvelle politique 713 est une question des souhaits de certains parents et des droits et privilèges des élèves. Je me demande jusqu'à quel point le système éducatif devrait permettre l'implication des parents sur les noms utilisés par leurs enfants à l'école. Il faut garder en tête que les dangers reliés à un changement de nom sont entièrement négligeables en comparaison avec les dangers dont certains membres de la communauté 2SLGBTQIA+, font face à la maison. Cette politique, peut-être que bien intentionnée, ne prend pas en compte les réalités vécues par nombreux élèves 2SLGBTQIA+. Pour certains d'entre eux, l'implication des parents peut représenter un réel danger, exposant les élèves à des risques de rejet ou de violence à la maison. J'étais un des chanceux qui avait des parents super alliés qui ont soutenu mon choix de changer mon nom dans les systèmes scolaires. Mais, comme on le sait tous, ce n'est pas le cas pour tout le monde. De nombreux élèves grandissent dans les environnements où leur identité est non seulement non acceptée, mais parfois activement rejetée. Restreindre leur droit à la vie privée et à l'expression en exigeant le consentement des parents pour utiliser leurs noms et pronoms préférés ne fait qu'aggraver leur douleur et leur lutte pour l'acceptation de soi. Cela impacte non seulement leur bien-être émotionnel, mais aussi leur performance académique. La santé mentale est un aspect fondamental dans la vie et permettre une expression sûre et ouverte à l'école est crucial pour améliorer leur expérience scolaire et leur bien-être. Nous devons nous engager collectivement à créer un environnement éducatif où chaque élève se sent respecté, valorisé et en sécurité. Ensemble, travaillons pour un avenir où les écoles sont des refuges inclusifs pour tous.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bédard. My pronouns are he, him. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you, but most importantly, Alex Brownstein, for giving me this opportunity to speak on a matter that is both urgent and deeply personal. I stand before you as a concerned citizen, but as a trans individual whose own journey was profoundly impacted by Policy 713. This policy, which affects the rights of queer students within our school, is more than just a set of regulations. It represents a critical issue in our society, current as well as future approach to inclusion and safety. As someone who grew up in a household that did not offer the support I needed, I can speak firsthand by queer youth in unsupportive environments. If it weren't for the fact that my age spared me by just 1 year, I would have been directly affected by this policy. In my formative years, I lacked a safe space to express myself authentically. The thought of facing such challenges in an environment that was supposed to nurture my growth is both heartbreaking and unacceptable, a reality that I do not wish upon any individual. Policy 713, in its current form, does not provide a necessary protection for students to express their true self without fear of discrimination or retaliation at school. This policy risks pushing vulnerable students into further isolation, compounding the difficulties they may already face at home. It is essential that we advocate for change that ensures every student can thrive in a safe and supportive environment. We must work towards policies that not only protects, but affirms the identity of queer youth, providing them with the security and respect they deserve and need. Let us commit to creating an educational environment where every student, regardless of their identity, can feel valued and empowered. For those of us who understand these struggles personally, let us use our voice to make sure no student has to navigate their journey alone. Yes. Thank you.
Solidarity. The word is thrown around, but what does it mean? It's solidarity of straight allies with the 2S LGBTQ+ community, solidarity of the community with BIPOC members, and most importantly, solidarity of adults with the younger generation. A responsibility to uplift youth voices, and a duty to protect them from the rise of anti-trans legislation, hate groups, and the growing epidemic of violence. This province is a key part of the nationwide downfall of trans rights, and the trans youth of this province have a massive target on their backs in the face of the current provincial government. The announcement of the review of Policy 713 by Blaine Higgs opened Pandora's box of attacks on trans youth, but it also brought this province and community together in incredible ways. It sparked a new era of solidarity and activism. Between May 13th and 19th, 2023, dozens of student-led and organized walkouts and protests took place across this province, involving thousands of students and supporters. At the time, I was a grade 12 student at Riverview High School, 17, not a target of the policy review, but a trusted and looked up to member of the trans community at the school. I watched as fear and violence spread throughout our community. On May 16th, the day before International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, I discussed the school walkouts occurring across the province with my friend and classmate Darcy Phillips at the weekly GSA meeting. 24 hours later, we led a crowd of students out of the school in protest in the face of threats of violence and calls for our suspension. Listening to the hopes and fears of the young people around me, and watching the reactions of others, taught me one thing. The youth in our community are brave, they are resilient, and they will not be silenced. We have a responsibility to give their voices spaces, and to use our ability to vote to make change to the government and legislation, and on days like today, remind them that they have a relentless community behind them who are committed to protect them. Blaine Higgs, in his review of Policy 713, attacked and attempted to silence trans youth, and despite his changes, he put a spotlight on trans youth and gave us a mission, to prove to the world that we have always been here, and that we will not be silenced, no matter what. Thank you. This video was recorded on the unceded, unsurrendered traditional land of the Mi'kmaq and the Wolastoqey, governed by the Treaties of Peace and Friendship. These lands, along with many others, are indigenous lands, and we acknowledge whose land we occupy.